Hi, my dear students. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the next session of our science video with respect to the revision concepts. I am Satish Kumar, your science teacher at Dr. Basin School. So, in the previous two videos, we have discussed about the concepts related to the pretty with a purpose. Isn't it? Yes. See, after completion of these videos, you are asked again to go through the textbook as well as your notebook also, so that you can have a good amount of practice and you will able to write the exam in a great manner. Okay, my dear students, are you ready for the revision concept for the next lesson? That is animals on our planet. So today we are going to do revision on the lesson animals on our planet. Animals on our planet. So in the lesson animals on the planet, what we have discussed, yes, the primary aim of this lesson is to sorting or classification of animals based on the similarities and differences. We have done so many classifications. Do you remember all those? Yes. I am going to give one some examples for the regarding the first classification of animals. We did on the basis of the food they eat. Based on the food they eat. Based on the food, the what the animals eat, they were classified into how many types? Three types. Very good. What are they? Herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous. What do you mean by herbivorous? Yes, these are the animals which eat only plants. Best example we can take cow. We can take or not sheep, goat, camel. This depend on plants. Elephant you can take. And next then we discussed about carnivorous. What do you mean by carnivorous? These animals, carnivores are the animals which depends on other animals or which eat the flesh of other animals. Yes, lion. Okay, dog will eat flesh of other animals. Cat, cheetah. Still so many, hyena, fox, jackal, all these comes under the group of animals which eat the flesh of other animals, carnivorous. And next, omnivorous, omnivorous. What are omnivorous? Yes, these are the animals which eat both plants and animals. Like you take monkeys, they go through both plants and animals. Okay, my dear students, even the human beings are also omnivorous, isn't it? And we discussed about 7 important key characteristics of living organisms. How many important characteristics of living organisms? 7. What are they? Yes, sensitivity, reproduction, respiration, excretion, isn't it? And one more you discuss about movement and nutrition. Two more you discuss about movement and nutrition. And then one more classification of animals. Yes, based on how they reproduce. Based on how they reproduce. So depending upon the way of reproduction, the animals are again classified into 2 ways. What are they? Egg laying animals and mammals. Egg laying animals and mammals. These egg laying animals, they lay eggs and they hatch them to produce the young ones. Whereas mammals give birth directly to the young ones and feed them with their milk. Are you able to understand? Mammals, even human beings are mammals. Okay, so egg laying animals, so many you can take: duck, hen, okay, fishes lay eggs. Crocodile, you can also take example, snake. These are all the different examples where they lay eggs to reproduce their young ones. And when comes to the next one, that is mammals. Mammals are the animals that reproduce their young ones directly, and they feed them with their milk. You can take cow, elephant, dog, cat, rabbits, lion, cheetah, leopard, all the sheep, goat, these all comes under fox, hyena, jackal. This all comes under hippopotamus, rhinoceros. This all comes under mammals. Example for mammals. In addition to these, I have also told you about one more category of animals which are special in nature. They are egg-laying mammals. They reproduce their young ones by laying eggs, and they can give milk to their young ones. Egg-laying mammals. Do you remember the one example I told? Yes, that is duck-billed platypus. And you can take one more, echinda. So, duck-billed platypus comes under egg-laying mammals. It consisting of both the properties. Of course, we have the primary classification as egg-laying animals and mammals. Okay, do you understand? That's one. And one more type of classification we discuss about is the way the animals move. Generally, some animals walk, hop, or jump, or some animals swim in water, and some animals fly in air. Birds especially fly in air. Fishes swim in water. They will travel to the meaning of by the means of swimming in water only. Okay, my dear students, that's some classification we discussed about. And the next comes the most important classification of animals based on the presence of special features of their body. Special features of their body. And we discussed the one important special feature of their body is, yes, that is the presence or absence of backbone or vertebral column, or you can also call spine. What is the under name for vertebral column? Backbone. Backbone also known as vertebral column or spine. You can also remember it as spine. Okay, my dear students. So now we are going to classify the animals based on the presence or absence of vertebral column. Classifying the animals based on presence or absence of vertebral column, or we can say backbone. Okay, my dear students. So this is the main classification of animals that we have learned in this chapter. This is the main classification. Now, so based on presence of absence of vertebral column, I said vertebral column or backbone or spine, which connects all the parts of the skeleton, and it provides some structure and shape to the body. Okay. Now, here, first classification, presence or absence of vertebral column. These animals are primarily classified into two types. What are they? One, vertebrates. Two, invertebrates. So who are called vertebrates and who are called invertebrates? Vertebrates are the animals that possess backbone. So the animals possess backbone, they are said to be called as vertebrates. So they are said to be vertebrates. And if the animals do not have backbone, no backbone, the animals do not possess backbone, these are said to be called as invertebrates. Okay. Before going to discuss about vertebrates, first we will go through invertebrates. I said these invertebrates further classified into four types. How many types? Four types. What are they? Arthropods, annelids, mollusks, Okay, and then Nidarians. Of course, I said this is not in your syllabus portion. For additional information, I have given these names. No need of discussing in detail about this because this is out of your textbook. For additional information, I have produced you arthropods, annelids, mollusks, and Nidarians. Of course, we are going to discuss about only two group of invertebrates. We'll discuss it now. What are invertebrates? The animals that do not have backbone are said to be called invertebrates. And these, some of these animals have legs that are connected to one another and we call them as jointed legs. We call them as jointed legs. Remember this point. It's very important to have this in our invertebrates concept. Jointed legs. Okay. And we are going to discuss about two such groups. Two such groups. Those are insects and arachnids. Insects and arachnids. So in this class, we have, with respect to invertebrates, we have discussed about only insects and arachnids. And these insects and arachnids, we will find in which category of animals? That is arthropods. Which category of invertebrates? Arthropods. Okay, my dear students. ARTHROPDS. Arthropods. Under arthropods only we have insects and arachnids. Insects and arachnids. Okay. Now we're coming to the both these are invertebrates and here they have a hard outer covering over their bodies. Both the insects and arachnids, exoskeleton will speak of. They have hard outer covering over their body. This gives shape and even protects them from other animals. Both the insects and arachnids. Now we are going to discuss about insects. Discuss about insects. These insects are hexapod invertebrates. Means they possess 6 jointed legs. How many jointed legs? Yes, 6 jointed legs. Insects possess how many jointed legs? Yes, they possess 6 jointed legs. And what is the purpose of these legs? They use these legs to run, hop, swim, or even to hold food. Okay, my students, or even to hold the food. And one more interesting part regarding the insects is the body of an insect is made up of 3 parts. How many parts? 3 parts. Yes, tell them what are they? Yes, head, followed by thorax, followed by abdomen. Head, thorax, and abdomen. This insect's body of insect is made up of how many parts? 3 parts. That is head, insects, and head, thorax, and abdomen. Okay. And what does it contain additionally? Yes, some of these insects have 2 or 4 wings. Some of these insects have 2 or 4 wings. How many legs the insects have? Yes, 6 jointed legs. Some of the insects have how many wings? Yes, either 1 pair or 2 pairs. Or you can say 2 or 4 wings. You understand? And some examples for these insects, we can write bees, wasps, houseflies, ants, okay, beetles, etc. Like this, so many you can able to write it down. Do you understand about insects? And still, some more important things are that these wings and these legs are attached to the thorax. This thorax is the middle part of the honeybee, sorry, or any insect you can say. Because an insect body is made up of how many parts? Three parts. What are they? Head, thorax and abdomen. This thorax lies between head and abdomen. This thorax lies between head and abdomen. Okay, and all these jointed legs, either two or one pair of wings are attached to the thorax only. We have observed the structure of an honeybee, the different parts involved in honeybee. I will show you again now also. And one more thing important regarding these insects, they have a pair of antennae. Pair of antennae. This antennae is used to smell at the surroundings. Smell the surroundings. And how these insects can able to breathe? Yes, insects can able to breathe by using tiny holes present on the either side of the abdomen. Tiny holes present on the either side of the abdomen. Okay. They breathe by using tiny holes on either side of abdomen, present on either side of abdomen. Okay, my dear students, either side of the abdomen. And next, these insects lay eggs to reproduce their young ones. They lay eggs to reproduce their young ones. Do you understand? They lay eggs to reproduce their young ones. This is all the things about insects. Now, we will recap of what we have discussed regarding the whom? Yes, arachnids. So when we speak of arachnids, these are also invertebrates like insects, and insects possess 6 jointed legs, whereas these arachnids possess 8 jointed legs. 8 jointed legs. And here the body of arachnids is made up of 2 parts. Made up of 2 parts. We will find head combined with thorax, that is only one part. Head plus thorax, and another part is abdomen. Abdomen. I already told you this head plus thorax combined is called as cephalothorax. Cephalothorax. Okay, that's all about the body parts of the arachnids. And they have how many legs I told? 8 jointed legs. Okay, and these do not have wings, no antennae, and they also lay eggs to reproduce their young ones. And one more important thing is, some of these arachnids have a pointed structure at the end of the abdomen called sting. Might contains some poisonous chemical substance. Like you can take the best example, scorpion. If a scorpion bites us, we will have a painful sensation, swelling over that particular region where that bites, which lasts for some hours of time. Okay, yes. So they have a sting at the end of the abdomen, a pointed structure at the end of the abdomen. Okay, my dear students. So that is all the things about arachnids. Examples for arachnids: spiders and scorpions. You can take example for arachnids. Okay, my dear students. So that is all the things regarding insects and arachnids. These insects and arachnids are invertebrates. What are invertebrates? The animals that do not possess vertebral column are called invertebrates. So we discussed about insects and arachnids. Now, we are going to discuss about, yes, vertebrates. Vertebrates in the sense the animals that possess backbone are said to be called vertebrates. Vertebrates are categorized into how many groups? Very good. 5 groups. Now what are they? Yes. Fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals. What comes under fishes? Yes, fishes are the vertebrates that live in water. They breathe under water by using some special organs of their body called gills. Organs called gills, isn't it? And the fishes move from one place to another place. That is movement. The movement of fishes is in the terms of swimming. Fishes swim in water by using the parts of their skeleton called fins. Fins help the fishes to move under or in water. Okay, my dear students. And one more thing, these fishes have thin plate-like structures called scales on their body. Scales on their body. Of course, they also have a slimy layer over their surface. When we hold them, they might slip out from our hands. That is all the things regarding fishes. Some examples of fishes. We can take tuna, sharks, guppies, barracudas, etc. These are the different examples for fishes. Okay, and next, amphibians. What are amphibians? Amphibians are the animals. Amphibians are the animals which spend part of their life on land, also water. They spend their life, some part of their life on the land as well as on the in the water also. They will live under the water. The best example we can take is frog. Frog is an amphibian. And we discussed about the life cycle of a frog. Frog lays eggs in water, they develop into froglets. These froglets respire by the means of gills like fishes. And they swim in water with the help of fins. And latter, sorry, not froglets, that is tadpole. Tadpole. So, frogs' eggs develops into tadpoles. Tadpoles swim in water with the help of fins and they can respire through gills. Like fishes, they behave like fishes. As they develop into froglets, the fins were developed into, changes into, or modified into limbs. How many limbs? 4 limbs. This developed adult frog possesses how many limbs? 4 limbs. In which 2 forelimbs and 2 hind limbs. 4 means front, hind means back, up or down. We can have the example. The front and back. Okay. And these adult amphibians on the land, they can breathe with the help of their lungs. These are the most important points. Fishes breathe with the help of gills and these also lay eggs to produce their young ones. Amphibians also lay eggs to reproduce their young ones. Okay, my dear students. And these limbs, like the legs, they can use these legs to hop, to jump, or to swim in water. And next comes reptiles. What are reptiles? These are also, yes, vertebrates. That means they possess backbone. And they breathe through lungs. They breathe through lungs. Here, remembering each and every organ is very important. And here, some of these reptiles spend most of their time in water. As they have gills, they cannot breathe underwater. So at the time of breathing, they come to the surface of the water and breathe the air from the atmosphere. Again, they can go back and spend some time in water. The example you can take is crocodiles or alligators. Of course, crocodiles will stay on the land for some time. Crocodiles are alligators. Okay? In order to regulate their body temperature, they come to the shore and they spend some time by opening their mouth so that they can able to release the heat energy from their body or even absorb to their body depending upon the conditions. And these also lays eggs to reproduce their young ones. To reproduce their young ones. Reptiles you can take chameleons, snakes, crocodiles, alligators. These all can be taken example for reptiles. And these can slither or crawl. Their movement. Slither or crawl. Slither or crawl. Okay, my dear students. These are some examples of reptiles. You can also consider tortoise also as example for reptiles. Okay, my dear students. So far we have completed the revision topic under the lesson animals on our planet up to reptiles. We have discussed about invertebrates. Under vertebrates we discussed about up to reptiles. In the next video we will revise the concepts with related to birds and mammals. Okay, my dear students. Until then, bye. Have a nice day.